Hello all, it's David here from the Moulting and Parrot. A lot less hair, had a nice haircut for the summer. Today we're going to be talking about things that first time bird owners may not know. Some little things that may be a little bit scary at first, little things that you may just not be aware of. We'll be going through each one in detail and hopefully it will put your mind at ease about things you may not have been aware of. First up we have molting. Now birds normally molt 1 to 2 times a year. It's perfectly natural and perfectly normal. We get a lot of questions on our Instagram saying, oh no, my bird's, all his feathers are falling out, he's plucking his feathers out, oh no, what do we do? It's perfectly normal for them to molt and for feathers to come out. Now that does lead on to plucking. If your bird is actively putting out feathers and it's not just once or twice a year, it could mean they have a condition or they could be very stressed, so it might be worth consulting a vet. Next up we have crop clearing. Now this is one we get a lot of questions about also, like my bird's being sick, my bird's in trouble. It's perfectly normal. We'll be showing a clip a little bit later of crop clearing and what it looks like, but normally it's just a perfectly natural part of your bird's digestive cycle. They can also look like, crop clearing can also look like yawning, and yawning looks like crop clearing, so just keep an eye on it. Which leads me on to regurgitation. Now sometimes if your bird really likes you, or they're in a hormonal state which we'll cover later, they may start regurgitating. This looks somewhat different because they'll frantically nod their head and have their mouth open. If your bird's doing that, it may be best to discourage it, because while they may really care for you by doing it, it's not really the best and it's not really the most clean thing to happen either. The next one is beak grinding, or what we call beaky grinding. It's one of my favourite behaviours from parrots. It's basically just them sitting, relaxing and grinding their beak. People often wonder, oh no, is there something wrong? Are they doing it out of some sort of stress behaviour? No, it's the exact opposite. If your parrot's beaky grinding, it means they're happy, content, and they normally do it just before they're going to settle down for a rest. It is perfectly normal and it is an awesome behaviour to see, because it means your parrot's a very happy parrot. Next up we have noise. Now this isn't something we get a lot of questions about, but it's something that a new bird owner really needs to be aware of. Parrots are exceptionally noisy, even little ones like Miss Pickles here. They love to shout, they love to poop, which is something that she's just doing on the floor, so awesome. And they love to sing. Now you'll notice that male parrots tend to sing a lot more than females. This is natural, they're trying to impress their mates, it's the way they do about it. It's just like us putting on our links and going down the street and posing. They also love to shout, and they do this for various reasons, so please be aware if you're getting a parrot that it's perfectly normal for them to be noisy, and that females tend to be slightly quieter in terms of singing, but no less quiet when it comes to shouting. Parrots need lots of stimulation. They're very intelligent creatures, and as such they need lots of things to keep their minds active. So it's important to remember they need lots and lots of toys. You can't just get a cage, slap them in with a mirror. It's just not enough for them. So you need to give them loads of toys. So I'll show you Pickles' favourite one. It's very simple ball with a jingle in it. You can see how crazy she's going for it right now. I'm going to try and get it off of her if she'll let me. I know she wants it, so you just keep that, but then drop it on the floor. But yeah, they need lots of toys. Other toys you can put in your cage include stuff like these. I've got a video on cage setup and toys if you'd like to see a little bit more about it, so I don't want to talk about them right now. But you need plenty of things to keep them active and entertained. Another thing is diet. A lot of people think that parrots just eat seed. Seed's fine, but only as part of a balanced diet, just like for us. We can't eat nothing but McDonald's. Giving parrots nothing but seed is basically like us eating like nothing but supersized meat. It's important to give them a mix. Now you can give them a mix of seed, as well as fruits, vegetables, and sprouts and other sort of bits and pieces like that. Make it varied. Another thing is sleep. They don't sleep like us. We only need about 8 hours. These little fellas need at least 12. So please be aware of that. Just try and give them plenty of sleep and plenty of opportunity to rest so they can be happy bunnies and not exhibit hormonal behaviour. I'd like to talk a bit about hormones now. Now my partner Sophie's done a video about hormones. If you'd like more details, please give that a watch. I'll pop a link in the description for you. But I just briefly would like to touch on it now. Hormones affect all birds. You're going to see mating behaviour, you're going to see them act up and be naughty. There are ways you can reduce it. Again, I won't talk too much about them now. One of the most important ones is sleep, making sure they get their 12 hours of sleep a day. Having lots of toys is also very important, but if they do exhibit some slightly odd behaviour, most of the time it will be just mating behaviour. If they're going to corners, they're twittering, they're getting a little bit more aggressive, it's just their hormones acting up. It's very important to try and either reduce it or be aware of it and understand that this is just hormonal behaviour. Leading on from hormones is petting. You see all these cute videos, including ones that we put out of birds being petted. There are certain places you should pet a bird and certain places you shouldn't. If you're going to give scritches or pets, which is one of the most rewarding things you can do as a bird owner, it shows they trust you, it shows they love you, and it shows that you love them back. Pet them on the head and neck only. Give them scritches on the head and neck, as you often see with cockatiels, our cockatiels. Do not touch them elsewhere on the body. If you do too much of that, they're going to start thinking you want to get frisky with them. And you don't really want that because it leads on to hormonal behaviour, could lead into biting and all sorts of other things you wouldn't want. So make sure you keep your petting on the head and the neck only, otherwise you're basically propositioning them. Something I didn't realise when I was a first-time bird owner is how your bird can train you. It's not just you training the birds to do tricks and all sorts of cute things, they can train you. For example, we've had questions on our Instagram about, for example, conures biting their owners, and immediately those owners will take the conure and put it straight back in the cage. Like, naughty, naughty conure, don't do that. The bird is training you. It's just basically training you to do what it wants. If it bites you now, it knows that if it bites you, it goes straight home. So if it wants to go home, it'll bite you. So it's important not to reinforce that sort of behaviour and be trained by your bird. Our birds trained us to go and collect them from the curtain rail, because every time I go up there and start biting stuff, we'd grab them. To solve that, we just started putting them up there, leaving them to it, and it wasn't so interesting. Something very important to remember and something that catches all of us bird owners out time and time again. Something I repeat in most of my videos, so please forgive me if you're one of my subscribers, is not all birds are the same. They all have very individual personalities. They're all very, very different. We talked about petting earlier. Some birds may take a lot more time to get used to being petted or trained. Others may not want it at all. It's very important to remember as a first-time bird owner, your bird is an individual. It needs its time, it needs to be given the opportunity to express its individuality and for you not to try and push it too much. I'm sorry if that sounds preachy, but it's something I've had to learn the hard way, and it's something that all of us need to be aware of. So that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you found it useful. I hope if you're a new bird owner, it may help to guide you in what's going to happen and also allay some of your fears. If you're a current bird owner, hopefully something was useful in there for you too. If you have any questions or if there's anything I've missed, please feel free to drop a comment below. If you'd like to subscribe, that would be awesome too. I'll have more videos coming out on various topics. So I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.